Faith is revealed by being tested by adversity. People say I have faith. Faith is only manifested when you're going head to head with adversity. When you see adversity in your life, that right there is a mirror. What do you believe? Do I believe this can happen, or I believe it can't happen? If I believe it can happen, then I can humble myself. I'm gonna do what's necessary. This is all about the testing of your faith. Everything is tested with fire.
Today we're gonna talk about the 7 rewards that you can get from adversity.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Bro.
Yo.
You know where I got the best advice?
Where?
In the trap.
In the trap.
From a crackhead.
From a crackhead?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, all right.
I'm in the trap, man. I don't remember what was going on. This is like 20-something years ago. But I remember this specific, because there's so many is crackheads a good terminology?
It's gonna be today.
There's so many crackheads with so much experience. Like, we can't discount the experience that these crackheads have experienced. You know, they carry so much knowledge, they just have a character defect, which is addiction to crack. But one crackhead told me, he was like, you know, if you get caught, you know, with your bong or whatever, man, he was like, you can do one or two things, you know, either, you know, if you got a little bit, just swallow it. And he's like, you get off, you know, first offense, take a few drug classes, they'll look at you as a, you know, user or whatever. But if you got more than enough, he said, if you get caught, make sure you run. Throw it 100 feet. Because if it's 100 feet away from you, they can't prove it's yours.
Wow. Wow.
We going somewhere with this.
Wow.
Let me tell you what happened, bro. So one night I was walking home, like my partners, my mom, everybody know the story. I went to jail for burglary, something I didn't do. So I'm walking home. It's at night. It's probably like 7 or 8. You know, it's dark. I cut through the fence because there's a fence that connected to one apartment to another apartment. So I cut through the fence, and there was a police officer talking to a lady. The lady looked at me. You know, I fit the description. I had dreads, I was high, I smelled like weed, you know what I mean? But I had a scale on me, I had some weed on me, and a bunch of crack, right? Now, definitely having the scale, that would have got me some time, because I would have got caught for intent to sell, to distribute. Right. So I had a lot of crack, a scale. My homeboy JB, he'll tell you the story. He funny, by the way. So the lady pointed at me, and I think the lady was like Ethiopian or Somalian. And the cop came to me like, "Sir, put your hands on the car." And I'm like, oh snap. Now I had a feeling something was gonna go down, so I had my Dickies on, my Dickie shorts. And you know, you had that one pocket on the side of the shorts. Man, I put everything in that pocket right there. The scale, crack, whatever, man. So the officers are like, "Sir, come put your hands on the car." And I'm like, yo, what I do? I need you to put your hands on the car. First of all, I didn't do nothing. Right. But I remember what that crackhead told me. You run, throw it, get it 100 feet away from you, and they can't prove it's yours. Hopefully I ain't incriminating myself right now.
I think the statute of limitations is up.
Yeah. Okay. It was like 20 years ago. So like 20 years ago. So
Jesus can talk about his experience, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So it was like 20 years ago. So I ran, you know, and I took everything in that pocket and I just threw it. The cop couldn't catch me, of course. You know what I mean? So I ran, and you know, my apartments is like right here, and I'm in the back of my apartments, and the cop is like behind me. So I ran in front of I guess he got tired of chasing me. So I ran in front of the apartments, and he turned around, you know, he came around, and I was like, yo, you know, because I was turning my stuff in. Right, I just wanted to get it off of me, right? Because of misdemeanor, you know, obstruction of officer. Right. Yo.
Man, you know the law.
Yeah. Crackheads, bro. Yeah, they put me on game. He pulled his gun out, get on the ground. So I got on the ground.
Pull the taser out?
Nah, you know, come on, man. It's 2006. You know what I mean? 2006. Nah, man. Get on the ground. So I got on the ground, man, and, you know, he arrested me. But as much game I got from a crackhead, I got that one tip saved me from getting years. I probably would have did 5 years in prison, first offense, you know, if I would have got caught with all that.
Dang.
But just me going through my struggles, man, my adversity just taught me a lot, you know. So, yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep, bro.
Yeah. What we got, man? Since we talking about base heads and
yeah. So today, 7 rewards of adversity.
Okay.
And that story reminds me of a lyric.
Okay.
From none other than
Okay.
Mr. P.T.
Let's go.
Cruiser.
Let's go.
Pastor Troy.
Right.
And he says, it's like I owe them bases for making me take this serious.
Right.
If it wasn't for the struggle, you would not be hearing this.
From Atlanta, you know the words.
And yeah, so
from Georgia.
Today we're gonna talk about the rewards that you can get, the 7 rewards that you can get from adversity.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So, all right. So here's the reality, right? Success.
Okay.
It's a moving target.
Yeah.
It's never gonna be something that, okay, is right here. I'm gonna hit it, and all my problems are solved.
Right.
Once you hit it, you got to continue to go forward, right? And you're gonna experience some challenges on the way to it.
Okay.
But here's what I want all of my doobies to understand about these challenges.
Right.
They're for your favor.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So understand that there are rewards when it comes, or there's benefits when it comes to dealing with adversity.
Definitely.
I know we got a lot to cover today. But,
I'm looking at your notes. We here though.
We're gonna try to go through it as quickly as possible.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, first reward of adversity
what we got?
Is the seed of discovery.
Okay.
You start to learn more about, or you learn more about something because of the adversity that you go through.
Okay.
So I'll give you a story time, right?
Story.
So I remember, this was before I, started my career. I was still in network marketing.
Okay.
And I may have told the story before, but man, I was, I ain't gonna say I was like broke, but like I would make enough money just to pay like rent.
Makes sense.
And I was living in this apartment, and I started out not having a bed.
I've been there.
Right? I was sleeping on towels, like on my towels. I was sleeping on my towels. And then I graduated from my towels to a baby mattress. Okay. I didn't even know it was a baby crib, like a baby crib mattress.
Right.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know it was a thing. It was this little small mattress that I think I saw it at like Goodwill or something.
Right.
I was like, oh, I can sleep on this instead of sleeping on
towels. Yeah, makes sense.
Didn't know nothing about no air mattress. Right. So I remember sleeping on this crib mattress, and my cousin came over. Shout out to Mike D, right? Shout out to Mike, right? He came over to my apartment, and I had this old couch too that somebody was moving out, so I got their couch, and so that was like 2 pieces of furniture. I had a crib mattress and a
It ain't funny, man. It ain't. Don't laugh. It ain't funny.
It is. It was, and him and my brother came over, and he left. He was like, man, I ain't over there living like a savage. I had no idea. Like I was so focused on like the grind.
Yeah.
That I had no idea I was living like a freaking bum. Right.
I mean, Right.
So the first reward of adversity is discovery, understanding that your situation is not as good as you think it is, and the adversity kind of dang, it made me feel a little bit bad, right? I was out this 10, 15 years later, I still remember this story, right? It affected me in a, I don't want to say in a negative way, right? But like it made me realize there's more to life in a sense.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like going back to my story, like it's all funny now, like funny games, man. But when I got arrested, Now, I was only in jail for 7 days, but when I went in, the first night I went in, they did a lockdown. I mean, some of y'all may not know what that is, but when you had to stay in your cell, you couldn't come out. So I was on lockdown for like, I think it was 6 days out of 7. So that was the time that, only thing I had was a cellmate and the Bible. So that was the time where I had to really go deep and, you know, go back to my roots and praying. And I think that was the first time I talked to God in a long time. You know what I mean? So like, just being in that cell alone, man, like not knowing, cause here it is, I was arrested for burglary, you know, not knowing if I was gonna get out, cause I didn't know if they had proof, or even though I didn't do it, you know, they didn't have proof that I didn't do it. So I'm thinking like, they just gonna put me in here, man. But just going through all these thoughts and, you know, just going through that adversity, it really showed me that, nah, this ain't the life I wanna live. You know what I mean? And I started replaying in my head, like everything that I was doing. It's like God just brought it to my attention, and also he matched that with the potential that I had from the streets. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you got this. You can redirect this, and so it just really it gave me a sense of who I was. You know, like just being in lockdown.
You know, it's crazy. Like, I feel like you hear kind of a lot of stories where when people go to jail, that's when they really start to discover like more. Like, I mean, think about all the artists, all the you know, people that came out and they just took it to the next level. So it's as much. I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, there's again, even though you're going through adversity, there's some benefits to you know, especially discovering peace. Yeah,
man, because see, when you live a fast-paced life, you ain't got time to think. You know what I mean? And really sit down. So when you in there, you can't move, you can't make moves. So you just in there, you just stagnant, man. So you gotta really just think, you know, and sit in it. Sometimes when you go through adversity, that's what you need to do. You gotta just chill out, sit still, be still. You know, and whatever.
Number 2.
What's number 2?
Second reward of adversity is adversity reveals the true character of your friendship circle.
Makes sense.
So you ever been in a situation where, you know, something happens, he gets turned up, and everybody starts snitching on each other, or you know, like you and again, you think that's a bad thing, but in the grand scheme of things, right? There's people that you're not around anymore, that, man, because of that happened, you're like, now you ain't gotta deal with those people, you know, when you get to another level of success.
Man.
So it sounds like a story time coming. What you got?
Nah, it's the same story, bro, because when I was in jail the 7 days, like, I had 3 visits. It was my mom, my ex-girl at the time, and my partner, JB. And it was just JB. That was my partner, man. It was a few of us, but he was the one that came.
Dang.
Although he was like, bro, hey, what you do with all that dope? Boy, I couldn't find it nowhere. I'm gonna bleep his name out. Where we at? Good. Okay, all right. Wait, boy, what you do with all that? Boy, I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere for it. Like, my boy was out there trying to make plays, boy. But yeah, man, but he was down, man, even afterwards, man. Even when I made my decision, like, you know, bro, I'm finna just switch it up, man, and finna just leave that behind. And he was with me. I think he made a transition too. He moved to Philly and, you know, did his thing, man. So, yeah.
I like it, man. It's crazy. I had an opposite thing happen, right? Well, kind of the same thing, but I guess like I went through a tough time in my career, and I was really able to see, you know, like. You know, the team that I had, they really stood up for me, man. Like, and they stood true to my character, and like to this day, we still got this text group that we chat on, just, you know, and so your friendship circle, it does get solidified in that time, because you know, like, man, if it all go bad,
we got
worst case scenario, these are the folks who's gonna have my back, because it's proven,
right?
You know, so it's also like you can also get just that benefit of it too.
That's true. I think even when you go through stuff, man, like when y'all go through stuff together, like I don't think any friendship is a real friendship if y'all ain't been through nothing.
100%.
Because it builds some type of bond or connection. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, hey, we've been through worse, man. Like, even in marriage, you know what I mean? Like, man, Chris Sam, why? Why? We've been through some stuff, man, but yeah.
And I think, like, you start to see, like, you'll see it on social media. I've seen, like, you got to be careful about who you hang around too, man, because, like, and I'm not saying these people are right or wrong with what they did, but and if it was meant to be malicious or not, but you know, I seen something, a girl, they were walking and like a friend tried to like push her under a bus, like it looked like she was like kind of joking, like, but like if she would have died, you know what I'm saying, like it's
that's
like
crazy, man.
Like you got to question your friend, like, or this girl, she was she was I guess she got pregnant or something, and she put like the pregnancy stick inside of the girl's drink and used it like a stirrer. And she was trying to tell her that she was pregnant. Right. But it just, like, she was just like licking on it and all that. Like, it was bad. She was like, and nobody in her friend group was saying like, no, don't lick it. Like, you know, like it was bad, dude. It was bad. But you know, like,
that's
so
crazy. That's crazy.
Like
there.
Saying, like sometimes you don't go through things, so you don't really understand that. Some of these people are not really for you. Yeah. So that, you know, there's a benefit to go through that, so you can reveal your friendship circle. Yeah,
you gotta have that bond, man. And ain't nothing closer. I mean, my relationship, man. Like, if we ask, is adversity good? Like, even personal adversity, you know, like it gets me closer to God. Like it does, you know. When I can't figure it out no more, you know, it brings me closer to Him. So, yeah.
Yep.
I had to put that piece in there, man. You know what I mean? After talking about crack, I had to put that in there, man. You know, just a little balance. You know what I mean?
So here's the third reward of adversity.
What we got?
Adversity reveals the means of you. Sorry, adversity reveals your ability to think, to have accurate thinking. So
let's talk about this.
You know, have you ever been in a situation where you thought it was something and then it turned out to be something totally different? So you have to have accurate thinking, because the last thing you want to do, and it's the old saying, right? When you assume, you make a
out of you and me. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And that's the reality, because it whenever that happens, you become so much stronger. Right. In terms of like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that whatever happens is done the right way.
Makes sense.
So you become very meticulous about how you do things.
So adversity pushes you to think accurately. Oh, because interesting.
You're like, you know, I don't know. You've seen stories, if you haven't been there, right? You've seen stories where somebody creates all this freaking drama, right, over something that's not even real. Like it's not even. Yeah. It's or like perfect example of and I don't necessarily have a I guess example for it, but you see things on social media, and you really don't know if it's true or not. Right. But people get so emotionally charged, and they just shoot it out.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it goes viral. Right. And then it turns out that
it's false.
It's false.
But that stigma still sticks. That's crazy. Right. Yeah. So no accurate thinking there.
Right. so you have to have, so when you're not accurately thinking about things. Right. And you kind of experience like, and it comes back to you like, dang, yeah, you the one that told me that. What? Like, you know, now you know, right. You can't mess up in the future like that.
That's interesting, man. I did not know that, man. Yep. I think because I'm a, what you call it? I'm a C.
Yeah.
I'm an overthinker.
Yep, CNS.
So I'm always think like, and try to see if my thinking is accurate or not, adversity or not. I put myself through adversity just thinking. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
100%. I had a situation when I was a kid. I told I was like, oh, blah, blah, I got in trouble today, blah, blah, blah. And our teacher snatched me up and she was like, you don't even know the story. And like ever since that day, I was like, oh shoot, like let me not talk about things that I don't know nothing about.
I remember you telling me that story, yeah, one time.
So it just, you know, you gotta be very careful on that.
Right.
Here's the fourth reward.
Fourth
reward of adversity.
What we got?
Adversity reveals your activity. Sometimes
it reveals your activity.
Yep.
Okay.
Sometimes, here's the blunt truth.
So you teaching me now.
You're not working hard enough. Because if you were, certain things would not be a factor. And I give you an example. When I was a branch manager, the days that I didn't have my best day on,
right,
was the days that I got to work late. But what I realized is that when I got to work early enough, I was able to be strategic and kind of plan things out. So whenever
makes sense
things happen, I was ready for it. My activity was there.
Oh snap! I get it.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't get to work early enough to be able to prepare and make sure that different things are set in place to make sure your day goes well, you scant. So
there are even things like in this business that we're doing that I would just glance over intentionally, because I'm like, man, you gotta do all that. I don't feel like doing all that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then I will run into a wall. Boom! I'm like, why is this wall here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And come to find out, this is in place for a certain reason. You know, you have to do these things, so it makes sense. Okay. So that adversity just revealed the fact that I wasn't intentional.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Makes sense.
Gotta have the right activity, man.
Yeah.
You know, again, and it's not even like, it's not even all about working hard, right? It's about, again, doing what's necessary. Sometimes it's just a small tweak that you should have did this step before you did this next step.
That's true.
And like, again, whatever activity it is, it's gonna show that you should have done things a little bit different.
Right.
You know?
It's gonna show that you shortcut.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, makes sense.
100%.
Well, I hope that cabinet I built. That dang on pantry, boy. I just pray to God. Go ahead. I'm listening.
All right, you're gonna like this next one.
Okay.
The fifth reward. Here's the fifth reward of adversity.
Okay.
Adversity reveals humility.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that, because you.
So,
well, we'll humble you.
Yeah, like I remember that, you know, I didn't get my first, you know, few positions that I applied for to become a level 3. It took me 3 times. To get to the spot where I'm at, right?
Okay.
And I had to be very humble, because here's what really like kind of pissed me off about it, right? I had the best performance.
Okay.
Nobody had better performance than me. So I was thinking that, it was going to be enough to get me where I wanted to go, right? But the reality of it is, I had to be able to express and communicate how I got that performance. And if I can't do that clearly, I had to humble myself, like, dang, you know what, Henry? You're not the best communicator. It was very humbling.
Wow. And you didn't try to cover it up? Because sometimes.
Yeah, you can, though. You could try to.
It's not going to happen.
Same spot. Covering it up.
It's not going to happen. Hey, man, so.
Same yard, just a big old, all this dirt behind you. Just keep on covering it up.
No, because some people out there, they would, regardless of what adversity, they are going to put their pride, their pride is going to be their priority versus being humbled in that situation. Like, for instance, you said you tried for the job 3 times. I failed the driver's test 3 times.
Like the written one or the driving one?
The driving one.
Really?
Man.
I failed the written one.
Nah, I passed that with flying colors, man. Okay.
Walk me through this.
I'm going back in my past, man. So we used to have this saying, right? If you take a test high, you get high. If you take a test high, you score high, right? So
was it Avondale? That's why the school closed right there. That's why they don't.
That's exactly why.
That's why it don't exist no more.
Bruh, our class, man. I think we only had like 200 people to graduate. Anyway.
Oh man.
You take a test high, you get high scores. So
Wasn't that on high?
Huh? I think it was.
That was on high too. I just thought.
I think it was. Yeah, we probably got that from that. You know, that was a written thing, written law in our minds. So every test I was taking, I was pretty much high. But anyway, man.
It worked for the written one though.
Huh?
Said it worked for the written one.
No, I was younger. So when I took the written, I was younger, but you know, older driving, man. But I failed it 3 times, man. But I started to see like all my peers get cars and driving, and I'm still catching the bus. It was a real humbling experience.
Dang,
Yeah, so I had to get serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like these are rewards, right? Like these are benefits from you having to go through those things, and like now you know, hey, I can't be high for everything, right? Like if you think about if you would have passed that test, right?
Yeah.
And you'd have been just driving high all the time,
Right. Yeah.
thinking that, oh, that's what that's what you need to do.
Right. But a few of my friends did.
Dang.
So I thought I can do it too. I mean, you know, you just can't compare yourself to people, man. But it is what it is, man. So, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Number 6.
What we got?
The 6th reward of adversity is adversity reveals the need for you to be teachable and coachable. Back to that.
Didn't we talk about this in one pod?
Back to it.
Coachable.
Adversity reveals that you don't know, like what you don't know what you think you know.
You gotta watch it. Yeah.
You gotta watch your balls. Watch your balls. Right.
Yeah.
You know, and this one, like, you know,
Right.
this is one of those ones that hit home for you, right?
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
this is one of those ones because it's the like the humility piece, right?
Right.
It's like it's a tough pill to swallow to realize that, man, like you are not good as you think you are,
Yeah.
and you got to listen to the expert, and you're not the expert.
But that goes back to the one before that, though, man. Humility. You know, like, I'm assuming these things are in order, because once you hit that, once you become humbled, man, anything, you know, anything is you're willing to try for it to work. You know what I mean? Even getting coaching, getting a coach or whatever.
Yep.
So yeah.
And this is something like, again, we kind of talked about it before, where like, as a branch manager, I'm so used to doing, right? And I had to really transition myself out of doing, and really like coaching and developing more to get other people to do it, because the way I had to invest my time differently. You only got 24 hours in a day.
Right.
Everybody got 24 hours in a day, right?
Right.
But why are some people more successful than others, right?
Yeah.
It's the way that you use your 24.
That's true.
So I had to be able to utilize, you know, my 8 to 10 hours, working hours, right, differently than what I was using them. And I've seen our numbers go from mediocre to now we wanted like top 20%.
That's what's up.
And we're going to get the top 10, number 1, you know, very soon. But, you know, the past few months we've been, you know, in the top 3 in our group.
Right.
So, so it's just, you know, it's one of those things where you have to understand that you're not the expert, and again, you have to listen to who is the expert, and that's your leader. That's
true, man. I think, like, if you're in a certain position in business or in leadership, if you're listening to this podcast, I kind of feel like you have the tenacity to get better or do better, you know. However, there are some areas that we're blinded in, you know, that may be stopping us. We need to be humbled and get coaching. So I just think we really need to pay close attention to which direction we're headed, you know what I mean? And pay close attention to what's going on within, so we know, okay, I got a weakness here. How do I do this, or who do I need to speak to coach me through this? You know what I mean? Like, it just really boils down to just getting a grander perspective.
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta pay somebody.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta pay somebody especially all like entrepreneurs out there, right? Like again, like you may not know anything about, you know, marketing. You may not know anything about podcasting or branding content, right?
Right.
But guess who does? This guy. So you have to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best spot to get to where you want to go.
That's
and
true.
Stop hitting your head against the wall on trying to do something that's not in your wheelhouse.
Right.
Like
yeah.
you're not the expert on branding and marketing.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, do what you're good at, outsource it, get somebody else to teach you or get somebody else to do it for you, whatever it is. That way you don't have to deal with that adversity anymore.
That's true.
And you can even 10x your results that way,
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Make a lot of sense because I had to learn the hard way. And guess what the hard way was?
What's the hard way?
Adversity. And it exposed a lot, man. You know what I mean? I go ahead. It may or may not be on there, but go ahead. We'll see.
What's that?
I would say learn from other people's adversity.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like learn from. That's why I open up.
Right there. I like that.
Yeah. I open up all the time about a lot of mistakes that I made. I really don't want y'all to make the same mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I really want y'all to pay close attention to the things that I've learned or the rewards that I reaped from adversity, man. Learn from other people's adversity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. So, like, I live by that, though.
Yeah.
Like wise men, or was it smart men live from their own mistakes?
Mm-hmm.
Wise men learn from the mistakes of others?
That sounds right.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I've lived by that quote because, I never wanted to be like a local joke. If that makes sense.
A local joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I never want to be the person that, no disrespect to anybody, but like that person that, had all these things and then, now you're back at home.
Right. Right.
Working like a regular, just and not doing anything like purposeful.
Makes sense.
There's a difference between going back home and you still doing something that you want to do, whether it's coaching or
right.
it's something you're passionate about.
Right.
But you could tell those people that, man, that they really just screwed their talent. Right?
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be that type of person.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
I saw that, I was able to pivot on a lot of things.
And they might have hit a brick wall, adversity.
Yeah, definitely.
And pride just was too, like I say, pride was priority.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang, bro. It's
crazy.
Crazy, man. Dang. Because I can keep going on that one, but it's here's the seventh thing.
Okay.
Here's the last thing that the benefit of adversity.
Seventh
reward of adversity is adversity reveals belief.
Mm.
And I
like that one.
I can't remember if we talked about this or not. But you gotta ask yourself, who do you lean on when things get tough? And adversity causes you to question 3 things that make up your belief.
Go ahead, bro.
Your words, your images, your emotions.
Okay.
You have to stop using negative words immediately.
Makes sense.
Right? What are you looking at? Right? Like, what are you seeing? What images are you portraying in your life?
Right.
And then emotions. What emotions are you feeling? We talk a lot about that, right? About, again, the science of getting rich, doing things in a certain way.
Right.
And if you have the wrong emotions, you have the wrong images, and you're using the wrong words.
That's true.
It's going to be very difficult for you to have the right belief system.
That's true. I want to go deeper.
Okay.
Because you said using the right words. And this is where I got stuck at when I was in multi-level marketing. Because I would say it, I didn't believe it. You know what I mean? When we say use the right words, we're not talking about only externally, but we're talking about with self-relationship too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you saying to yourself when nobody's looking?
Right.
What are you saying to yourself when you're sleeping or before you're sleeping at night? Like, all the time, you just really have to be mindful of what's going on in your mind because there are all these words, negativity, negative things that are happening there that you have to change. You have to change the dynamics of your thinking, and you have to change the dialogue of your interactions between you and yourself and change the wording. So that way, when you say something out loud, if it's the wrong thing, you know what I mean? It'll feel bad. It'll feel wrong. Like, nah, let me change this up. Like, it happened to me today. Nah, I said, nah, let me change this up because I'm starting to think better. You know, yeah, just to go there, man.
Dang, that's deep, bro.
I can go even deeper with the scripture.
Oh, scripture of the week.
Scripture of the week, man. We talking about adversity, man. I want y'all to turn to your Bibles to 1 Peter chapter 1. We're gonna start at the 7th verse. We're just gonna end it there at the 7th verse. That the genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. So I want to focus in on that tested by fire. Faith is revealed by being tested by adversity. Like, people can say, I have faith. Myron Golden say this all the time. He mentioned now faith. People say I have faith. But faith is only tested when you're going through something. You know what I mean? Faith is only manifested when you're going head to head with adversity.
Right.
That, when you see adversity in your life, that right there is a mirror. Going back to, what do you believe? Do I believe this can happen, or I believe it can't happen? If I believe it can happen, then I can humble myself and get coaching. You know what I mean? If I believe it can happen, then I'm gonna do what it takes. I'm gonna do the necessity steps. Did I say that right? I'm gonna do what's necessary. You know, this is all about the testing of your faith and the trying of your faith.
Right.
Everything is tested with fire. So,
dang.
Yeah, man. Did that make sense?
It made sense.
Okay, cool.
It made sense.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I guess this is the last thing I'll say on this number 7. And I got a question for you.
Question?
I got a question for you. Who are you leaning on? Like, think about it, like, truly, like, when adversity hits, like, who, like, are you really leaning on God? Like, are you really in your Bible, in your scripture, are you really leaning on your faith that you proclaim that you are this, you know, hey, I didn't say that you was a Christian.
Right.
I didn't say that. You said that. You said that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. I didn't say that.
Right.
Well, I did say I said it for me.
Right.
I didn't say it for you.
Right.
And you got to check yourself.
Yeah.
Because if that's not your first thing that you go to when things get tough.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You got some bigger problems.
That's true.
Some bigger problems, and that's what you need to do. So, I guess I want to leave everybody with this, right? And this is, again, it's something, you know, for you guys, for our doobies out there, right?
Doobies.
Adversity always reveals your true character.
Ah, that's dope.
And you got two choices. You can quit and make excuses, or you can make adjustments and win.
Boom.
Your choice.
Your choice.
What else you got?
That's it, bro.
That's it.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
That's all I got, man. Hey, I got my word for the day. Hey, look, man, go have a conversation with, never mind. I was going to say, have a conversation with the nearest crackhead, but I was going to don't do that.
Hey, all these bases, man.
Anyway.
And that's, I'll leave on, I do want to say something about that, because I don't feel like I went into that lyric, and kind of explaining that a little bit more, right? It's like, I owe these bases make it tear. So, like, man, sometimes, man, like, you got to be grateful for your enemies, bro. Like, you got to be grateful for the people that, and I know that bases aren't necessarily enemies, but like, in that song, right, No More Play NGA.
Right.
He talked about his transition from going from being a crack dealer to, like, being this you know, going a legit route, right, and getting into music. And we see the impact that Pastor Troy has made on all of us that have played sports.
That's true.
Right, at least in our generation, at least, right?
Right.
And how well, like, even today, like, he still, you know, goes around Atlanta today, is on commercials, and, you know, has all kind of different things because of his impact for making that transition. And, like, just understand that, again, like, he could be frustrated, he could be resentful for having to quote unquote, do that, right, and sell crack or whatever, but he feel like he owes them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you feel like you owe them.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for the struggle, you would not be hearing this. If it wasn't for the struggle, you guys are going through some struggles right now, and that struggle is going to help propel somebody else. So you have to tell your story. Like you have to tell your story. So hit he did the likes and subscribes and all that stuff. But I literally want you guys to leave a comment, right?
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment today about whatever struggle that you was going through. Because people need to hear your story. People need to understand what adversity you went through.
That's true.
And how you went through and how these 7 steps can help them do the same thing that you did. So I want to hear that.
They heard mine.
That's all I got for you.
Okay, cool.
I'm empty.
Okay. Yeah, you got it all out. Y'all be sure to like, subscribe, share this information. Hit the bell. Hit the bell, man. My brother said leave a comment, so leave a comment. What struggles you've been through? How can these 7 steps help you? Or 7 benefits help you? And I think we out, man.
All right. Keep the head up as you concerned about them. Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy. We don't play about them. Going hard for the game, showing love, don't tolerate.